Alrighty, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Legacy Loading, where we go over video game documentaries of the past. And today we are going over the G4 Icons episode dedicated to the Italian plumber himself, Mr. Mario. And joining me is my friend, Mr. Nerdporeal Lifeform. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, it's like I only got like really two real Nintendo nerds I really hang out with. You and our buddy, Mr. Angry Canadian. But unfortunately, he can't make that because he's got a job and he's not a loser, so he's working right now. So we're going to hang out with a person who's in my time zone, and that is you, of course, Mr. Brian.
Well, glad to be here. Can't wait to talk some Super Mario.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So for people who may not know, back in the day, G4 was obviously a gaming focused, entertainment, electronic kind of network, and they had a show dedicated to video game icons. We've currently been doing that one, and right now like I said before, we are on the Mario episode. So if you want to check out some of the older episodes that we have on here, I would say you can go check those out and add them to your backlog. But I'm curious to see what we learn about today because we have had some really all-time banger quotes, and we've been having some fun times with that. We've heard Doom 3 get compared to Shrek. We've heard Mortal Kombat be called MTV Street Fighter, and we've also learned even some very fun stuff, even about the prior Nintendo consoles, like how it was originally launched in New York City and New York City only. No, that's all you got to say there, right?
That's all I got to say.
All right, so before we begin, what else is going on? Let me rephrase that. When did you first get into Mario? Like, what was your first Mario game?
The first Mario game was Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Got it. Folks bought it in 1989. That was when they were really selling a whole bunch of them. They were like it was displayed everywhere. It was at every store. They were really trying to get a whole bunch of these units out, and my parents saw it, and my dad wanted to try it. My mom was interested. And for me, I thought it was like a new type of VCR. I thought it was like a new type of like a new type of cartoon or something like that, but you can control it. At least that's how that's what my 5-year-old brain thought it was. So, but yeah, I got when we got a package with Super Mario and Duck Hunt, and so I got to play that. And then like I think a few months later, I got Mario 3 for Easter. And then the month after, my parents got me Mario 2. So they were really pushing Mario on me. Heck, they even got me Donkey Kong Classics, which was the NES port of Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. So I got to play all four of those within like less than 6 months of each other.
All right, right on. Yeah. I started a little later in life than you. My first Mario game was Mario 64. Ironically enough, my brother, he's 20 years older than me, but when he let me play his NES, the only thing I remember that he had was Duck Hunt and Legend of Zelda. Those were the only two games he owned, ironically enough.
Duck Hunt by itself, that's a rarity.
Yeah, I know. So like I've never been a super huge Mario fan. I've always liked Mario's spin-offs a lot more than I liked his mainline stuff. For me, I love Paper Mario. I like Mario and Luigi. And of course, I'm pretty sure that they'll talk about it in here, but a lot of the sports spin-off games too, like Mario Golf, especially the GameCube version, was my jam.
Never played that one. I only played the 64 one. I got as far as trying to unlock playing against Wario to unlock, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't beat the Wario character. I beat all the other characters before that. I think Wario was the 8th character to unlock, and I rented it, and I was like, okay, I think I'm kind of done with it. I think that's the extent of the golf gaming that I've ever done. So I've never played any of the like Toadstool Tour or any of the other ones.
Yeah, it was the only game my dad would actually play with me was Mario Golf, and I think he would actually get into it a lot more than me. There was a feature in there, and I don't know if it was in the N64 version, but I know it was in the GameCube one, where you could taunt your opponent. and you could have just like Yoshi kind of just like going like he's having a stroke by how much you could smash
Uh-huh.
the little button and everything. Or Mario would be like, "Don't forget it, you won't hit it," and stuff like that all the time. And my dad would get so mad at me. I think it's because he was drunk and he was hungover, so I would
Oh,
just
no.
constantly annoy him and just throw him off this game. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, my parents played Mario. My mom tried, couldn't get past level 1, 2 in Super Mario Brothers. My dad was able to get to level 2, 3. Level, if you remember, level 2, 3 is the level after the under. So 2, 2 is the underwater section, and then 2, 3 you're on the bridge and you have to run while the Cheeps are jumping out at you basically,
yeah,
and they could never get past the final obstacle, which is the 3 floating platforms, right next to each other, because they kept running, and I was just like, why not just slow down? So I played it, I slowed down, and I beat it. So, but they played that, and they played a little bit of. My dad played Super Mario 3 quite a bit back in the day. So when we'd go to church, my dad would be home and he would be playing Mario 3 on the NES, and he got as far as I think World. I don't, if I remember correctly, he got as far as World 3. So the sea, the beach land or the water land or something like that. So my dad got pretty far in Mario 3. He didn't play, and beyond that, I don't think he played anything else. I think the gaming kind of wore off his interest and all that. So he did play a little bit of Ninja Turtles with me, and he did play Mario. He loved Mario Kart. So he played those with me growing up. But beyond 1992, 1993, my parents completely lost interest in gaming, and the games kind of became my thing. And then when my brother was born, and then my brother still has my N64 to this day. So I don't have my NES or Super NES anymore. The NES that completely conked out. I mean, that system was conking out on me when I owned it back then. And then the Super Nintendo, it didn't conk out nearly as much, but it did ultimately conk out, and I had to get rid of it. So I've never picked up replacements for those original consoles, and I got rid of all my cartridges. So
right.
yeah, big mistake on my part. I get it. So
Yes, especially when you start retro collecting, you see some of the prices. It's like, ooh.
but yeah, since the N64, I think I've had I still have all my consoles. My brother has my N64. I still have my GameCube. I have PS2, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360. My brother has the Xbox. My brother has my original Xbox. So yeah, we have most of the consoles. Genesis is completely gone. That bricked within a year of buying it, because I got Genesis in '94, going into '95. Played a little bit of Sonic games, and then that system was short lived for me. But yeah, so Mario. I've been playing Mario consistently, the Super Mario series, well, since '89, and so. I mean, I haven't played every game in every series. Like I only played the first Mario and Luigi game. Only played half of the Paper Mario games. I haven't played many of the sports games. Mario Kart, I kind of lost interest beyond 64. I mean, maybe I'll give Double Dash a try. I did play a little bit of Mario Kart 8. I played a little bit of Mario Kart World and Mario Kart 7. That's pretty much Mario Kart DS, but that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. We could go more into that a little bit after. I think I want to kind of start this documentary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get this going. So with everyone, give a little shout out to everyone coming in here. First, we got Mr. Dread Roberts saying, "Oh my God, a live stream! What up? How you doing, buddy?" And of course, we got Mr. AC saying, "Let's go." And then we got Mr. Lethal Lightning here saying, "A real Nintendo fan would quit their job for this. AC is a LARPer." That is true.
Fact check, true.
AC is a super LARPer. That's why
Yes,
he
he
moved to
is.
Japan, so he can LARP all day.
Exactly.
And then we got Mr. TJ joining us too, saying, "Shout out to MTV Street Fighter." Shout out to you, buddy. I hope everything's good. I know you were talking about the weather being really bad in the Philippines, so I hope everyone's good over there. So, that being said, let's get this show on the road. And before we begin, too, smash that like button and share this out with some people. Let's get that going. If not, it's fine. I suck. I don't deserve it. So, let's go, Brian.
Let's do this.
Let's check the volume and let me know if it is too loud.
He went from a bit part in an
Sounds fine.
unknown game
Never expected that Mario would be our icon back then. It was just Jumpman.
to one of the most recognized faces in the world.
We instantly fell in love with Mario, the character.
Along the way, he helped save an industry.
The time was right for a new video game console, and
That's-
the time was
that's
ready
exactly
for
what I'm
a
talking
new hero.
And all of a sudden, video games were back on top, and it's all thanks to Mario Brothers.
And changed the way we play.
That's the
I like how much Mario games they're showing off here. We saw some sports games, Paper Mario, the OG Mario. They're really like it really even shows you even before the Wii that there was just so much Mario content that they were pumping out.
Yeah, I mean, Super Nintendo. I mean, you had. Yeah. I mean, the '90s itself. You had Mario, Super Mario World. You had Super Mario All Stars, which they already remade. Remade the original. 3 games, and they actually released. The original Mario 2 for the first time, which I still have not beaten Super Mario Brothers 2, the Japanese version, to this day. It's on the Switch. It was on the Wii U. It's harder than the All Stars version because when you get game over in the All Stars version, you can just simply continue your game from the level you're at.
Mhm.
If you're playing the original version, now it's not like the original Super Mario Brothers, where if you get game over, you have to start at the very beginning, and that's not the case. But if you're in, let's say you're in World 7-4, and you're in the castle, you die, you have to start back at World 7-1 in order to continue, basically. And so the game is rough. The game is rough, and plus the game doesn't end at World A4 like Super Mario Brothers does. There's an additional 5 worlds beyond that. So there's World 9, there's World A because of the hexadecimal system. So World A is World 10, B, C, and D. So D4 is actually, or 13. I think 13-4, I believe, is the last level, or D4 basically.
Right.
So yeah, so there was a lot of stuff to unpack.
All right, let's get back to rolling this along, shall we?
brilliance of the whole Mario series is that it was this gameplay, and that's something Miyamoto is famous for.
A lot of the games just look like things that children do.
Developers still point to it as one of the best games of all time.
This is the story of Mario.
Still love this opening. I want to steal it.
Icons.
Yeah, I want to steal it.
In 1980, Nintendo, a Japanese toy manufacturer, is trying to break into the already crowded American arcade market.
Nintendo wanted a piece of that pie, and so they developed a game called Radar Scope, an arcade game. They released it to test audiences, and people hated it. Radar Scope was just not good. They had a bomb on their hands.
Yeah, I think we've covered Radar Scope so many times on this, just you and I. It's just
I mean, we all know. I mean, everybody knows who knows their Nintendo history. Radar Scope. They just basically repurposed the Radar Scope cabinets and converted them to Donkey Kong, and voila, money right there.
Nintendo turns to a young staff artist to transform the bomb into a hit.
Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo of Japan, got this young Shigeru Miyamoto and said, hey, make a game. And he hadn't made a game before, so this was sort of a gamble.
I mean, even when I first entered the company, it was really my goal to design and ultimately sell these products, really toys that I was interested in.
But Miyamoto seemed creative, and Yamauchi thought he might be up to the task.
Well, the funny thing, too, is that we learn from so many of these episodes is that they have no real computer programming knowledge, a lot of these people that started out on these video games.
No, they did not. I mean, they farmed out that they farmed out that work, and then by the time they made Super Mario Brothers, they brought those people in the office with them.
Right.
But they stayed in like a Harry Potter type of office, basically, like under the stairs or something like that. Really small room. Mm-hmm. But that's I mean, that's kind of how they did it. I forgot what's the name of the company. They were SRD. Yeah, SRD was the name of was the name of the programmers. What's funny is the 7 Koopa Kids in Mario 3 were basically inspired by the 7 programmers that they had.
Yeah, but I'm also like, even if you look at other industries, like when we did the show on Yuji Naka, the guy who made Sonic, he had no formal training at all in making video games. He learned on the fly. It was basically he just showed up and got hired.
Yeah.
And it's just like so funny. Like when we talked about people like Gunpei Yokoi and that, we are just so, I guess the best way to say this is like, I think a lot of gamers just don't understand how long a lot of these like famous programmers have been around to the point where they weren't trained on computers. You know, now you're just so kind of used to just like everybody who works in video games has some sort of computer technical programming skills or anything else like that. But back then, literally Nintendo went from just making, you know, toy guns, lawn darts kind of deals to arcade cabinets, and now they're probably the most successful video game company in the world right now.
Yeah, and I mean Miyamoto has been with Nintendo for several years at this point. Well, not several years. He's been there for a good 3 years. He started the same year Star Wars came out, so 77. Yeah. And I think he only had an industrial design degree. He didn't really know how to do computers. He didn't know about video games. I mean, video games was a brand new thing, and believe it or not, it was looked down upon in Japan. You didn't want to tell people you were working for Nintendo.
Yeah.
At least you didn't say you were designing video games. At least, I mean, Nintendo's been around for a long time. It was a card company. Everybody knows that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gaming was not quite looked upon with, at least according to me reading up on, I think Takashi Tezuka, that wasn't really looked upon with, you know, approval from a lot of people, from fellow Japanese. So, so it's interesting because even Takashi Tezuka too, he had to learn this stuff on the fly. He never designed video games. He just applied for the job when they hired him.
Yeah, well,
he didn't know what he was going to be doing exactly.
Well, we even learned that with the Blue Sky Rangers for the Intellivision and stuff like that. They were just hired college kids, just like whatever stupid idea they could come up with and quickly throw out. That's just basically what they did, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing, that whenever there were ideas being pushed around, I mean, the thing that they were big on is if this idea can be turned into a game, they went with it. And if something didn't make it into a current game, you could be positive it would make it into the next one. So
Yep.
it's like, I mean, the idea of, you know, I mean, going way in the future, Super Mario 128, you know, propping up just generating a whole bunch of little Mario figures and then running around on spheres and all that. I mean, that just by itself inspired or eventually became the game Pikmin and the game Super Mario Galaxy. So yeah, I mean, ideas, everything was used. Like people, yeah, every idea was used at some point in some game.
Yep. All right, let's continue.
Well, you know, as it turned out, he was very up to the task.
The artist, a 28-year-old Shigeru Miyamoto, had never created a game before. Eager to learn, he studies the schematics and meets with engineers and programmers.
Miyamoto did exactly that. He saved it by saying, it's so bad, we can't even use it, toss it out. We're going to use the same technology to create something new.
But he needs a story.
Actually, with Donkey Kong, we began development on that game, originally with the idea of using Popeye in it.
Yep, that was
But because of extended contract negotiations, the sailor is left at sea.
Had they used Popeye, they would have created one of the early licensed games. And of course, the trouble with the license is that, you know, you have it for this game, but you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
And probably Popeye wouldn't have the same appeal, you know, 20 years later as Mario does. So in the end, I think it worked out for Nintendo. It could be the best thing that ever happened to him.
So Miyamoto decides instead on a stubborn gorilla who breaks free from his cage and kidnaps his keeper's girlfriend. The goofy carpenter who has to rescue the girl is a little man with a big nose and an even bigger heart.
You know what's funny is, like, you know, how I said, because they were forced to create something original that worked out in the end. I mean, well, I mean, the only other thing I could compare this to right now, thinking about it, George Lucas wanted to get the rights to Flash Gordon in the early 70s, and he couldn't get it. So he had to come up with his own story. Of course, the own story became Star Wars. And well, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, look at Star Wars. Going forward several decades. Good, better, way good decision than just adapting Flash Gordon.
Well, on top of that too, it's just you can really tell Nintendo really loves the blue ocean strategy that we keep hearing about. Because everything that we've learned from the Gunpei Yokoi episode to the Donkey Kong episode to even just now, what it was a common theme: reuse what we have, recycle it, and not necessarily just make something new, but just innovate on something old and make it fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it just like it does seem that Nintendo has had this very consistent theme of we may not be the groundbreakers anymore, but we're going to be the innovators. If you want to, I guess that's a good term, right? Innovation.
Yeah, and I mean that's why that's why whenever like most games, there's always like a difference in art style. There's always something different enough about it to make it look fresh. Even going like, because I mean, even the development between Mario 3 and Super Mario World, the original build reused too many assets from Mario 3 to the point where when they unveiled it and when they unveiled Super Mario World in 1989, and this is something I just learned recently, I didn't know this. It got panned because of how similar it was. So they had to go back and basically retool the game for another year, and really know how to figure out how to use the Super Famicom's hardware to really make something great, and they ultimately did. So
yeah, but that's another thing too. Video games just do feel like they couldn't get the license, so they had to make something that just turned out better. Like when TJ and I did the Mortal Kombat episode, he also brings up here the Mortal Kombat was going to be the Jean-Claude Van Damme game,
Yeah.
But I love this old school Mario right here.
Yeah, I mean, we got this basically Popeye with a mustache right there.
Yep.
Named Jumpman. Because of the restrictions of technology, Miyamoto has to get creative with his character design.
And Jumpman, it's this tiny little sprite with a mustache and a hat and overalls, and we know him well today, but the only reason why he looked like that back then was because of the limitations of the hardware. Without a mustache, the Mario sprite would have looked really weird because you wouldn't be able to see the nose in the face. So there's your reason why the guy has a mustache. Hair would look really weird, so they decided, hey, let's give him a hat. The reason Mario had overalls on was because without the overalls, the whole walking thing would have looked really bad. So there you go, there's the birth of a cultural icon.
In 1981, the Finnish...
I just like how Mario looks that way because he would have looked like shit the other way.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can sum up that entire breakdown by Pear. It's just like, yeah, he looked like this because he would have looked like real dog shit if we didn't do it any other way.
What's funny is I first heard that, believe it or not, what's his name? Conan O'Brien went to E3 one year. Miyamoto was there. He just goes up to Miyamoto and asks that very question. Miyamoto gives that very same answer. We had to do it because of the hardware, because we wouldn't have looked good otherwise.
That's funny.
Arcade game ships to America, where a certain resemblance is noticed.
And common lore has it that name is based on the landlord of the Nintendo offices in New York.
Yep.
The landlord's name? Mario Segale. And so, Jumpman is named
They
Mario.
spelled it wrong.
Despite the unusual story and characters, players quickly learn to love the game.
Wait, well, there's supposed to be E.
The landlord's name?
Yeah.
Mario.
I think, yeah, it's supposed to have an E at the end.
Is it? We gotta Google this. Mario Segale.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even spelled the same way.
Mario Arnold Segale was an Italian-American businessman and real estate developer. Yep. Good job, G4. Good job. You had one job, G4. You had one job.
20 years later, we're we're spell checking this television show.
I'm like, who is this? Who is this Mario Segali?
Segalai.
Segali.
Oh, Brian, that's funny. I didn't expect that one to come out of your mouth. I would have been none the wiser. I think everyone else would have been too.
Mario Segali. And so, Jumpman.
So from now on, this is your new stage name right here, Mario Segali. Get around that copyright.
Is named Mario. Despite the unusual story and characters.
You know what? I've got to pause here for a second. That needs to be like a T-shirt. If I ever get big enough and just start making merch, like that's got to be like one of the big quotes.
Mario Segali.
Yes, G4 icons.
G4 icons. Yep.
Mario Segali.
Players quickly learn to love the game.
It did very well, and it started, more and more people were playing, and quickly we realized in America that we had a hit.
Before you knew it, Donkey Kong
What were they recording her in like a wind tunnel? Did you hear that?
Really what it was jumping over the barrels. And who could forget jumping over the barrels and climbing up the ladders? It was such a simple gameplay mechanism and yet so memorable and so replayable.
Donkey Kong is a very skill-based game. You think it's a simplistic game, you think it's a cutesy game, you think it's a girl's game, but it's not. People are still trying.
Hold on.
A girl's game?
A girl's game? What?
A cutesy game?
A cute. What? Donkey Kong. A cutesy
maybe
game.
Bubble Bobble would be a cutesy game, but this? Nah.
A cutesy girls game. This is the first. Like I said, Brian. Like these people that they get, like they have like the hottest of takes that are just like they catch me off guard with what they're gonna say next. I'm swear to God. So let's add that to the growing list now. So we could put Donkey Kong, a cutesy girls game.
Amen.
There you go. That's the next merch item right there.
To boost up their scores to this day.
Nintendo ships over 60,000 Donkey Kong arcade cabinets to locations around.
Yeah, women love being kidnapped by apes. A tale's old as time.
Like, not that old. King Kong.
Around the country. The game
King Kong's
quickly
100
joins the
over 100 years
pantheon
old
of
now.
hit arcade titles like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Asteroids.
Everyone remembers playing Donkey Kong in the arcade. It's fun. It's still a fun game. And it reminds you that the early games, as far as minimal as they were, they knew what was
Did I
going
ever
on.
tell you
Just
how
some
I
of the
first
classics.
played the arcade version of Donkey Kong?
I think you have, but I can't remember.
Well, our buddy Angry Canadian would be totally proud. So I've never seen this in an arcade. I used to go to Aladdin's Castle quite a bit when I was younger.
Yes,
I've never seen Donkey Kong in the arcade at all. I like I said, I played Donkey Kong Classics on NES. I played the arcade version on Donkey Kong 64 because the arcade was in like the third area, like the factory, like the Kremlin factory area in Donkey Kong 64 had the Donkey Kong arcade. You play it and you get like a coin or something like that. That's how I played this original arcade. And this had the cement factory.
Okay.
The like I said in previous streams, the port, the NES port did not have the cement factory, which was level 2. It went from this level to the level with the bouncing things and the elevator.
We got Mr. Pop Culture joining us saying, Guten Tag, Carl und Napoleon. Good to see you too, buddy. Hope you're having a good one.
Yeah.
And our buddy AC is definitely having some PTSD ones. I play it the same way and hate every minute of it.
Yeah, going banana, that's right.
To me, Donkey Kong holds a very precious place for me because that was really the first time where I was recognized for my work in game design. I mean, up to that point, video games had been designed mostly by technical people, and it was really the first time that a designer had actually created a game and been recognized for that work.
After his uncredited success in Donkey Kong, Mario takes his first starring role in Mario Brothers, released for the arcades. Along the way, Mario's character is fleshed out a little more.
Mario kind of went from just Jumpman, a semi-generic-looking character, to kind of a living, breathing character. He was Mario.
You know, at this point,
I
I don't know who did the music for. Well, there was not really any music. It was just boom, 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 boom. Maybe Miyamoto did that himself,
Yeah.
but not they used like classical music for a lot of like for this early game, for instance. It wasn't, and the reason why that is because they didn't have a composer. Koji Kondo wasn't hired yet. Koji Kondo didn't get hired until 1984. This came out, I think they worked on this in like 82, 83.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't have really a music guy yet. So that's why you're getting like stuff like this. And what's funny was Legend of Zelda. Now I know this isn't a Zelda thing, but Legend of Zelda, the opening for Legend of Zelda, the title screen was originally the Ravel's Bolero. That's what they were gonna play instead of an extended version of the main world thing. So I mean, they couldn't use it obviously because copyright. It was not as nearly as old as Mozart, but they did resort to using classical music if they didn't have if they didn't have enough.
No, it's all the piano lessons they took as kids.
Yeah, Koji Kondo especially.
A brother named Luigi, and the two of them could go through this little game universe and tear it up. It was cool. Kind of gave way to the franchise.
I never really
Gamers are impressed with the new ways to play.
I've never played this game, the old Mario and Luigi game.
What's funny is I first played that, and I didn't even know that was a separate game. Because I used to play 2-player Super Mario 3 with my dad all the time, and you could play Mario Brothers in when you play the 2-player. Like there's a like at the start section on the map, there's like this little dot, and when you access that dot, you go into a Mario Brothers level. And that's how I was introduced to Mario Brothers, was from Mario 3. I didn't realize it was originally a game that came up before Super Mario Brothers. I learned that because of the internet.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Joust. Have you ever played Joust?
No.
It's like the one game where you ride around on an ostrich. It feels like that might have been a clone of the Mario game. I don't know. I'll look that up later. I'm curious.
The game when it first came out in the arcade, simply because of that whole versus co-op element that we hadn't seen very often.
The game becomes a hit for Nintendo, and Mario becomes a celebrity.
The whole Mario name became a household name. Mom knew that you were playing Mario, whereas, that other game was that shooting game with the stupid spaceships, or, the one with the two Western heroes.
Nintendo had succeeded more than anyone could have hoped, but things were about to get a little more super.
I got jumped right into the fire right before.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where they bring in Koji Kondo and they bring in Takashi Tezuka. They both got hired roughly at the same time.
By 1984, Nintendo has established a strong presence in the arcade and is eager to do the same in the living room. However, after the terrible losses faced by companies like Atari a year earlier, people began to think of video games as simply a passing fad.
I think a lot of people just lost interest. The games were so generic, there was so much bad stuff out there, they didn't want to do it. So in comes Nintendo, this Japanese newcomer, saying, we're going to make a new console. And, what a gutsy move at the time. The idea to bring out a console was just dumbfounded many people.
Nintendo has already created the Famicom, or Family Computer, a console that is sweeping through Japan. But they know the only way to convince toy stores in America to carry it is to create a hit game. Work begins immediately on a game to maximize the technology.
Well, yeah, it is true that we do have these kind of closets in Japan with sliding doors, and behind the doors it is very dark. And I remember as a child being kind of afraid of that darkness, or even going into the mountains and playing in the mountains as a kid and finding caves and whatnot. And that sort of exploration too really lingered in my memory, and so later on,
what is this interview going?
Video games, it kind of came back into
He's
play.
Talking about he's talking about what inspired his design.
And so Mario
Obviously,
then became
some
really
of that idea
the perfect
went
game
into
for
Zelda,
kind of this
but
jumping
some of that
around
went
and
into
active
Mario as
expression.
well.
And
We'll do that again. What did you say, Brian? Sorry.
Well, I mean, Miyamoto is basically talking about how he used to explore as a kid and all that, and his memories of that kind of went into his approach on designing a hit for the Famicom. And I mean, obviously, both of those ideas carried into Mario and also Legend of Zelda. I mean, there's exploration. You do have to look for things. I mean, you have a question block there, so it appeals to your sense of curiosity. Like, oh, what's in that question block? I gotta hit it. You know, or hit every brick, because maybe there's something hidden in one of those bricks. Maybe there's like a star, or there's a mushroom or something. Maybe it's not just a brick. Maybe it's not what it seems. And you go and your curiosity gets the better of you, and you discover things. And that's kind of his approach to Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was like kind of weirdly how they like hard edited into that. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
But
I mean, I think that was what he was thinking about. That was his thought process, you know, going into.
No, I know that, but I think the editor just did a bad job, because it leads in like he's telling a story how like he murdered someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's all I was trying to say. Is like, well, this is a really bad edit job right here. Make Shigeru here look like he's insane a little bit. Here, let's go over again here.
We'll go back a little bit and let's see that transition again.
Begins immediately on a game to maximize the technology.
Well, yeah, it is true that we do have these kind of closets in Japan with sliding doors and behind.
Yeah, like what question was asked here? And it's true that we have these closet doors. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what caught me off guard.
What's he getting? What's he getting?
What question was asked here? It's like, we're going to utilize.
There's like, well, you're going to design this new big game so that because stores will carry this, and then he goes.
Yeah, I'm afraid of closets because they're dark. It's like, wait, what? What kind of transitional question is this? Like, who asked him this question? All right.
Yeah. We'll see.
It is very dark, and I remember as a child being kind of afraid of that darkness, or even going into the mountains. And playing in the mountains as a kid and finding caves and whatnot, and that sort of exploration too really lingered in my memory. And so later on in life, when I did start making video games, it kind of came back into play in my imagination. And so Mario then became really the perfect game for kind of this jumping around and active expression, and just the motion on screen really became the best game for that type of action.
I don't know how to like respond to this transition. I'm gonna be honest here. That was one intense trip there.
I guess he thinks that's how it started, was him thinking about his childhood.
Yeah, I mean, I get what he was going through here, but like they even had like, did you hear like the wind sound with barking dogs that really add home? They're like, yes, you know. It's a very mysterious and scary place in Japan over here.
I mean, yeah, a dog tried to attack him once, and luckily the owner was holding the dog, and that's where the chain sound comes from.
Mario Brothers also introduces a storyline and characters that are familiar to all gamers.
You have two brothers out to save the girl. You know, in the original game it was Pauline, later it's Princess Peach. And you have a bad guy, and it's usually Bowser, who kidnaps the girl, and you got to go to the end of the level, and it's usually on the right side, and get the girl.
The game arrives with Nintendo's new system, the NES, just in time for Christmas, into an uncertain marketplace.
A lot of product out there, it wasn't selling. Retailers didn't want to, get into video games anymore. And then here was this little Nintendo Entertainment System coming over from Japan, and this character.
Like, where are they interviewing her? You hear all that like crazy background noise she's giving off?
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
I'm like, what? Did they just stop her in like a wind tunnel or something?
Probably.
Brian is going to get triggered that they call her Princess Peach.
Yeah. I mean, her name is Princess Toadstool.
What was this about? And here was a game that featured a character. It was different. It was its adventure game, something people hadn't seen before.
The time was ripe for a new video game console, and the time was ready for a new hero in video games, and there he was, Mario.
It was kind of poppy and quirky. It was just definitely cool. It's something that is just burned into gamers' brains. I mean, it's like you could find, 50 years from now,
this guy,
playing Dungeon Theme.
I think I've read his work before.
play the above ground theme. And it's like they'll know exactly what you're playing. You know, they'll just recognize it instantly.
He's right about that.
The Preponderance of Secrets was just amazing.
Yeah, World War II.
You look forward to something new every time you played it because you'd find a cool new pipe you could go down. Or like, oh, a 1-up was there. I did not know that. And
I still have
just a
not
really cool
accessed the
learning
Minus
experience,
World.
and it's just fun all around.
Really?
Yeah.
By that one.
And I think that's the brilliant.
I don't think I've ever really tried, though.
Okay.
Of the whole Mario series is that it was this gameplay. I mean, it was about the gameplay, and that's, you know, something Miyamoto is famous for. Making it about the gameplay, starting with the gameplay and letting everything follow from that.
Fun. I mean, that's what it all boils down to. He somehow knows how to make a game with really tight controls, very compelling to play, challenging enough that you're going to be playing it for a while.
Yeah,
and just cute enough and just cool enough to pull in every audience.
Yeah.
Word spreads fast, and the game soon becomes a must-have toy for kids everywhere.
Yeah, I have this
And then all of
part,
a sudden,
muscle,
video games were back
muscle
on top,
memory
and it's all
completely.
thanks to Mario Brothers. It went on to be, you know, probably the top-selling video game of all time.
With 40 million copies of his game reaching his fans, Mario...
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, this was 20 years ago. It was over 20 years ago.
I was going to say, it feels like 20 years ago to you, but it was really 40 years ago.
If I remember correctly, like I think it was number one for years until like, was it Minecraft and GTA and
Yeah, Tetris, Minecraft, GTA, those are like some of the highest selling game franchises out there. Obviously, Pokemon.
Mario Karts and the Mario Karts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot more
proves
people
he's
buying
as
games
much a
nowadays.
hit in the living room as he is in the arcade, but fans will have to wait for a sequel.
Well, it's still it's even insane to think about, like 40 million back in the 80s too. That's insane to think about too.
It wasn't 40 million in the 80s. It was 40 million in the 2000s.
I think this was like I think it was just talking about Mario, like just from the 80s standpoint.
I don't know. I'd have to double check on that.
Let's just go back a little bit here. It was like right after
I mean, that's what it all boils down to. He somehow knows how to make a game with really tight controls, very compelling to play, challenging enough that you're going to be playing it for a while, and just cute enough and just cool enough to pull in every audience.
Word spreads fast, and the game soon becomes a must-have toy for kids everywhere.
And then all of a sudden, video games were back on top, and it's all thanks to Mario Brothers. It went on to be, you know, probably the top-selling video game of all time.
With 40 million copies of his game reaching his fans.
Yeah, this particular game sold 40 million copies.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it came with almost every NES, so I think the NES sold like up to 50 million units. I don't remember.
We got Google for that.
60 million, maybe. I don't know. So I don't think every NES had Mario and Super Mario.
So around 62 million units of the NES and Famicom have sold combined worldwide in their lifetime sales.
Okay.
So between Japan and the USA and the European markets, 40 million copies of the original Mario sold.
Okay, so some either sold with a different game or no games at all. So
yeah,
probably European market maybe.
That's an insane attach rate.
Yeah, that is. I agree.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. To say that she's saying, I don't think she was being hyperbolic when she said it was the best-selling video game at that time.
Now, did you know at the very last thing that they did before finishing the game was creating the Goomba and replacing Koopa Troopas with Goombas at least in the very first few levels of the game?
No, I did not.
Yeah, the Koopa Troopa was originally the first enemy that you encounter in the first level.
Mm-hmm.
But people were testing it, they were giving it to other people, and people were actually struggling with it, so they created an even easier enemy, and they're like, okay, what kind of enemy do we have? Well, somebody was thinking about shiitake mushrooms, Like let's make an enemy based off of a shiitake mushroom, and
Well,
we'll name him Karibo. What's funny is I didn't know they were called Karibo in Japan. So when Mario 3 comes out and you're reading some of Princess Toadstool's letters that she gives you at the end of certain sections of the game, one of the letters mentions Karibo's shoe. I'm like, who's Karibo? For years I thought Karibo was like a character, was like an original character that owned this shoe that the Goombas were using. Well, apparently Karibo are the Goombas. I didn't know that. So,
yeah, I didn't know that either.
But they created Karibo was like the last enemy that they created for Super Mario Brothers. And the other thing is there was hardware limitations for when they were making Super Mario Brothers. So in order to kind of reuse some of the current like assets and all that, they simply like the paratroopas, for instance, were created just by simply giving them using these existing Koopas and giving them wings. So instead of creating, because they didn't have room for more types of baddies and all that. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the reason why they created the paratroopas in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but it's a pretty interesting fact. When I think of Karibo, I just think Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there was a card called Karibo. And
I've never watched or played Yu-Gi-Oh! I know exists, but...
Yeah, it's like that big furry little guy. That's like one of the mascot monsters for Yu-Gi-Oh! His name is Karibo.
Yeah.
Mario proves he is as much a hit in the living room as he is in the arcade, but fans will have to wait for a sequel.
There was actually a sequel to Super Mario Brothers, but it only came out in Japan. Super Mario Brothers 2 is basically a clone of the first game. It looks very similar, but it was so tough that Nintendo was worried that American gamers would just not like it.
The next Mario game to come to America.
I like how they only gave it like
Mario.
a few seconds. They gave the Lost Levels only a few seconds.
Yeah, because nobody played it in America at this point. It was like one of those hidden things where like you had to be like a real lucky hipster to even like know about it, or even
I found out about it. I actually found out about it before the game came out, before All Stars came out. It was mentioned in one of the magazines. I think it was my parents bought me the Mario Mania magazine that included the walkthrough of Super Mario World. And I believe in one of the like, what do you call one of the sections that's kind of like they put to the side? It's like a fun fact and all that. And that's how I learned about Super Mario. That was Super Mario Brothers 2. I'm like, wait a minute, I have Super Mario 2. What is this? Oh, it's Super Mario Brothers 2 Japanese version. I was asking my parents, can we get it? They were like, no, we can't get it. We got to go to Japan to get it. So, and I didn't even realize that that Dan Lost Levels was the same thing for several years. And yeah, that came out for the disc. They came out with this. So Japan came out with like additional hardware to attach to the current hardware. So Famicom had a disk drive, N64 had a disk drive. None of that stuff ever came out in the US.
The Ultra 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my buddy actually. I don't think he has the Famicom one, but I know he has the N64 attachment for the disk drive.
Yeah, this game was specifically made for this Doki Yume. Doki Doki Panic was made specifically for the Famicom disk drive, I believe.
And then this is what a lot of us were introduced to as Mario.
I'll be honest, I didn't know about this until the internet. I was like blown away when I was reading up on, because when I was in college, if I had nothing to do, I'd be reading up on the history of things that I really, I grew up and liked. And I read about this, and this just completely blew me away. I'm like, this was originally not a Mario game. What the heck? Mario was actually a son. Luigi was a mama. Toad was a dad. Toad was Papa. And Princess was the sister.
Yeah. Yeah, AC brings up here. Yeah, Zelda, Metroid, Kid Icarus were the first ones on the FDS, but later Zelda got a Famicom cart, which is now expensive. I didn't know Kid Icarus. I knew about the other ones because I think when we did the NES episode in particular, they were showing off commercials for those.
Yeah.
FDS disc floppy
game at all.
Instead, what we got in the US was a Super Mario Bros. 2 that was known in Japan as Doki Doki Panic. So Nintendo said, oh, why don't we take that game, put our Mario characters in it, because nobody cares about these Doki Doki characters, and bring that to the US.
No
one... I mean, was he wrong? Were they wrong?
Wait, were they wrong about what?
Like, nobody cares about the Doki Doki characters. Let's just slap Mario onto it and they'll buy it.
From what I've read, apparently this was originally meant to be a Mario game. I mean, a new Mario game by Kensuke Tanabe, and this game was originally supposed to be a vertical scroller, and Miyamoto was like, you're going to have to make this like a Mario game, more like a Mario game, and have it horizontally as well. And Tanabe was not happy with it, so they put it aside for a time. But then then they had this celebration. I forget what they had, like this festival or something, and they were tasked with making this game for this festival. I forget what it's called for TV and all that. And yeah, they made that, and then Mario. Then they're like, okay, let's we need a game for the US because they didn't want the Japanese Mario 2, so let's just take this game and paint the Mario characters, add the star, add the POW blocks. Change it, tweak it a little bit, and here you go.
Okay.
I think the Troopa shell. I think the Troopa shell was added too. I think, but originally, like the potion bottle that you do to form a door in order to go into the other side. The other dimension where you get the mushroom and all that.
Yeah.
That was originally a magic lamp.
No, you're right, because it wasn't like Doki Doki supposed to be like more of like an Aladdin kind of loosely based genie themed a little bit.
Yeah,
because not so much Aladdin, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's Arabian Nights kind of feel and stuff like that.
Seems to mind the differences. The sequel quickly sells 10 million copies. Mario Mania is in full effect. Fans eagerly await the third installment of the series.
By the time Super Mario Bros. 3 came out, Mario was a full-blown superstar mascot for Nintendo. Everybody knew him, loved him. You could turn on the TV and see Mario. You could go to the movies and see him in Wizard. He was everywhere.
You know why that was? There was like some sort of chip. There was some sort of chip shortage and all that, so they couldn't release the game right after. So Mario 3 came out in Japan in late 1988. But it didn't come out in the US until like early 1990, which was around the time that we first owned the NES. That's why we got Mario 3 within a few months of getting the system.
Yeah.
But there was some sort of chip shortage, so they used that time to promote it. And they're like, let's make a movie kind of like Tommy, which is the opera, the rock opera by the Who, and they're famous for its song Pinball Wizard. Let's make a movie about that. And we'll call it The Wizard, because because of Pinball Wizard. Well, and so that's where they promoted the Power Glove, and of course the Mario 3 at the very very, very end.
Wasn't Michael Jackson?
The kid knew exactly where to go. The kid knew exactly where to go in that first fortress.
Yeah.
Always. What were you saying?
Wasn't Michael Jackson in that movie? Or am I getting that
No, I don't think so.
Or am I thinking about like The Wizard of Oz, but the black version? Am I thinking
he was in that? He was in The Wiz.
That's probably where I'm getting it mixed up in. So similar names. Excuse my casual racism.
I'm sure he owned that. I'm sure he owned an NES. He was a big nerd.
Yeah, I think that's funny because this was the only Mario game on the SNES that I actually played.
Okay.
I never owned a SNES, but I did get really bad dehydration as a kid to the point where I had to be hospitalized. Oh. And this was the only video game console they had at the time in the hospital. And this was the only game they had too. So I actually have played this game, but it was when I was also delirious too. So I don't know if I was playing it good or bad.
I'm trying to remember because I've been in and out of the hospital too. I have asthma. I've had asthma attacks as a kid.
Yeah.
What's funny was when I had my first asthma attack, I was in kindergarten. I was right before I turned 6, and so this was like around Halloween time. So I was in the hospital dressed up as Mario for Halloween. I like my mother drew the mustache. She dyed the sailor's cap and all that because there was no Mario costumes back then. Like my mother had to make everything for me. So I was dressed up as Mario while I was in the hospital for asthma.
That's funny.
Yeah.
In stores on February 12, 1990, and once again, fans love it.
It was just a huge expansion on the concept of the original Mario. Everything was bigger, better. The scope was immense. It was 3 megabits, that's like 12 times as big.
Actually, Super Mario Bros. 3 was the biggest selling game of all. That's when you really.
Did you know
Nintendo
they
was
originally
here
wanted to make
stay.
this
They were in the game.
isometric?
No.
Yeah, they originally wanted to make this isometric, and they're like, "Nah, we can't do that." So there's maybe like in the very first opening, the title screen shows a little bit of that with the tile floors and all that, but that's it. But yeah, they originally wanted to make this an isometric game, and they're like, "Nah, we can't do it. We're gonna have to do the traditional. We can't make it that different."
Fair enough.
For me, that game was just really deep, polished, felt great. Whether it was pure platforming or you flying around with a raccoon tail, I mean, there's so much to do and love about that game.
I mean, this game does look really good. It still
Despite a
holds up
6-year-old console system,
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. 3 sells 18 million copies,
It was
more
number
than
3.
any other single game.
It was the biggest thing in the industry by far. Every company wanted to have
Okay,
more.
I
And you
recognize
saw
that name.
competitors bringing out.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I've read he's done articles on IGN. I recognize the name now.
Oh, okay.
Want to be mascots too.
But yeah.
So it was cool.
Like Sonic from Sega.
Back then, Sonic was gaining in popularity. He was huge. He's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And Sega was promoting the heck out of him and making him into this kind of cooler, hipper character.
Yeah, Genesis.
So yeah,
does
there was a
what
time
Nintendo
there when
don't.
you kind of wondered.
I mean, I think also, hot take, I think Sonic has a better soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you have Masato Nakamura from the bass player from Dreams Come True doing the music. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. I mean, as I love Koji Kondo, but I mean, you have a pop star doing. I mean, he was not nearly as crazy as Michael Jackson, but he was famous in Japan back then.
Yeah,
Still
but,
is, I think.
but I like I was saying, I don't know. I think Sega has always done OSTs and soundtracks a lot better. I just think overall, I think Nintendo has better hooks, so I think that helps them out a lot too. It's just people can remember that repetitive tune a lot easier than, say, for example, a Sega one.
Yeah, I mean, like with Mario 2, I love the overworld theme. I mean, and everybody recognizes the original Mario's, overworld theme and the underworld. Almost everything from that. Super Mario 3. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The main overworld theme isn't the best. It was the athletic theme that really gets you. The second level, not the first level. The second level.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Would Sonic replace Mario?
And Nintendo needed something new, and they needed it badly. So the Genesis came out first, and it was a big leap over the NES, and then Nintendo followed suit with the machine they were developing, the Super Nintendo. Sega really capitalized on that whole, speed feel and said, this guy is much faster than Mario. Mario's the old man. And it worked. In the US, the Genesis outsold the Super Nintendo, which was amazing, based on the success of games like Sonic, but also because Sega was able to predict the market. They said, gamers are getting older, they want to play something different.
Oh, we got a new person out here, Punk Waddle. Welcome,
What's up, buddy?
Thank you for joining. Says over here, howdy. I would say Sonic and Sony was more of the adrenaline/caffeine pump use, while Mario had more variations of the pacing of certain levels and movements/boss fights. That's an interesting one to point out there.
Yeah, I mean, they're like not every some Mario levels you had to run like in like like on top of the bridge in level 2, 3 in the original game. There's auto scrolling, horizontal auto scrolling. There's vertical auto scrolling. There are levels where you have to be careful, and there's levels where you have to be fast. So it's like, yeah, I agree. It's varied. Whereas I even Sonic, like everybody thinks Sonic is this like speed thing. It was really only in Green Hill Zone. I mean, you play the next level, Marble Zone. You have to be careful. You're in lava. You're underground and all that. It's a
I think it just had more chaotic energy. That's what it was. Like when I played like the original Sonic, it just feels like it's chaos. Like I'm spinning around, flying around, just doing all this stuff. Whereas Mario, I guess you could say, was a little bit more slower paced, and like you can think out your movements more. But at the same time, like you've seen speedrunners, like they figured out all sorts of tips and tricks and wildness that you could do with like these video games. I feel like not everyone's a speedrunner, but there's something about watching speedrunners play a Mario game where you're like, how do you do this? Like Mario Maker. When I see people do all the stuff on Mario Maker, I'm just like, who is this like just good at this game? Where it's just like, I'm going to make a level where it's like 5,000 fireballs and bullet bills flying everywhere, and I'm going to get to the end by just doing like 360 no scopes, taking hits, and suiciding to Yoshi's.
So it seems like they're skipping Super Mario Land. Shame on you, G4. Shame on you.
We'll find out.
Mario didn't evolve. So I don't think it's because the guys at Nintendo weren't smart enough to predict the trends. I think they were bucking it. They didn't want Mario to become a grown-up character. They wanted people who are grown-ups to feel like they were kids when they're playing. They wanted to make it games. They wanted to make it fun.
Nintendo prepares to retake their lead by releasing a new system. Once again, they gamble the company's future on the courageous Italian.
This is when I came into the whole Mario world. Punkwaddle says over here, you could even say Sonic vs. Mario was the embodiment of the console wars, i.e. the pursuit mascot of purest mascot of each console's marketing demographic. I mean, yeah, it was the whole Sega does what Nintendo don't.
I mean, whenever I think of console wars, I always think of that. I don't think of Xbox versus Sony versus Nintendo. I always think of Sega versus Super Nintendo.
I think the console wars were more fun until Twitter came around. Twitter ruined the console wars. Oh, it's just the video's quiet. I was like, why is it quiet?
Bonsai Bill.
Wait, what's going on here? Is there no sound?
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything either. What's going on here? Uh-oh.
It says, I heard a pop-up when you last paused it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if this documentary has sound at the end.
It seems like you went back and parts that had sound, so I'm guessing the sound got cut off. Maybe try it again.
So I'm trying to see here real quick.
So I don't know. I'll ask the chat this. What do you think is the best Super Mario game? The 2D Super Mario game is Super Mario World, is it Super Mario 3? Almost an impossible choice. I mean, for the longest time, I was a Super Mario 3 fan. But after playing that and Super Mario World side by side and having conversations with friends and all that, I think I'm a Super Mario. I'm on Team Super Mario World now. So I know when it comes to the 3D games, everybody's gonna have a different opinion. So, but yes, like Super Mario World had longer levels. I think the design was superior to Mario 3's level design. The only thing that Mario 3 had that was interesting was the multiple costumes that you could do. So Like everybody hates the frog suit. When you're underwater, the frog suit's very useful for one level. I think it's level 3-5. If you play level 3-5 with the frog suit, you will be able to swim through the pipe. The pipe will push you out. So you need the frog suit in order to swim into the pipe, in order to get like the 3 extra lives and all that. So, yeah, that was. That's like the only thing I could think of that you could use the frog suit for that was useful. Other than that, like if you wanted to like truly challenge yourself, play the entire game with the frog. Play the entire game with the frog suit. Just the way he moves, it's annoying, and you hear the small jump, the small jump sound constantly when you're hopping as the frog. So.
Yeah,
it can be annoying. So what's going on? Is do you get the sound back up? Or do I?
Yeah, I actually had to go to a different channel, but apparently there's a big breakdown in the audio that just wasn't recorded. But I quickly found one that works. So here we go.
By 1996, Mario has become a full-blown celebrity, having appeared in films, on television, as well as in the best-selling games of all time. However, Nintendo is getting ready to launch a new system, this time facing heavy competition.
Sony had already come to market with this cool, kind of hip PS1 platform. And
yeah, I like how they just like blew through all that Mario history and just
like they skipped the Game Boy, and they just briefly mentioned Sonic. Oh yeah, Sonic. The Super Nintendo. That's it.
Yeah, they blew through all the spin-off games, that Mario movie, and everything else like that. And now they're like, now the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it surprised everybody. It was successful, and everyone was skeptical of Nintendo's machine.
They placed all their bets on Miyamoto. They knew when a new platform comes out, we have to have Miyamoto create the flagship title. And even though Mario's popularity was kind of waning in the wake of upcoming characters like Sonic and all those sports games, not only did Nintendo gamble by taking an established 2D character, making him 3D, but they also said, you know what, this is the biggest thing we have. If anybody can pull this off, it's Miyamoto and it's Mario.
Working closely with the developers, Miyamoto and his team begin to explore uncharted territory. When Mario 64 is released, on September 26, 1996, the experiment pays off.
If Super Mario World was an evolution of the first Super Mario Brothers game, here's the game that is, the same theme, but really a revolution of it all.
Yeah, I mean, they had no frame of reference for Mario 64, especially when it came to the jump mechanics. So they had to test this for several months to perfect it, basically. So
yeah, I feel like this game still holds up very well too. It's just a very well designed and well made game. It's kind of ingenious if you think about it.
I mean, like when it comes to anybody that, I mean, if you've read like all the reactions to Mario 64, everybody has referenced this game in some capacity. And believe it or not, I first learned of that. I told AC this one time. I went to New York Comic Con, and I went to the Epic Mickey panel. So the Epic Mickey wasn't out yet, the developer Warren Spector, who also made the Deus Ex games, he glazed Miyamoto, and he glazed Mario 64. Like he literally says to us, like, he considers Miyamoto a god to 3D platforming, basically. So, and I mean, so almost every subsequent 3D game took some sort of idea from Mario 64. I mean, Mario 64 was one of the earliest games to like really, to do that. And of course, it was because this game, they worked on this game for 3 years. So Star Fox, if it wasn't for the original Star Fox and that Super FX chip, Mario 64 would be a very different game. Or I don't even know if they would have went into if they would even bother, you know, doing 3D stuff if it wasn't for Star Fox, basically. So Miyamoto was running Miyamoto was producing all these projects. But I think, especially in the 90s, from 1993 up until 1996, when this released, he was spending most of his time on Mario 64, developing Mario 64 himself. While like he had like the Yoshi designer ended up, he's the guy that developed, the guy that designed Yoshi originally.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they wanted him to work on a project, on an original project, and of course that project ended up being Yoshi's Island.
Right.
Starring Yoshi. That game also used the Super FX chip, create all those weird effects that you see on the screen, like whenever Kamek, you encounter a mini like a normal enemy, and then Kamek comes like I'm gonna fuck you up, Yoshi, and then he sprinkles his little magic dust on the enemy, and the enemy comes big, it goes like that. That was the Super FX chip. And the same with the one I always like to reference, the Don't Touch the Fuzzies, where everything goes all psychedelic. That effect was because of the Super FX chip. So I didn't even know this. I didn't even know this about Yoshi's Island. So while other people were delegating Yoshi's Island and all these other things, Miyamoto was really putting most of his time into Mario 64.
Yeah, like I said, I know that the camera is bad, as we were reading some comments from AC and Jason over there, but at the same time, the gameplay still holds up pretty well. Like that's the one thing about it,
I was thinking about the camera. I was thinking about the camera system myself today. You know that there was the Lakitu. If you look at the bottom right, there's the Lakitu, and then if you press I forget which button you press, but you switch it to Mario, where it's almost like it's not first person, but it almost seems like it is, because Mario, like you're like Mario's like takes up like almost the entire screen. I don't know how you could. Has anyone ever tried? Anyone in chat? Have you ever played with the Mario camera exclusively? Because I don't think I ever have. I always try to zoom out as much as I can, so I know where I'm going, and because sometimes the game seems to get confused on what direction I want to go in. Sometimes, because the close-up camera moves quite a bit. So when I'm going forward, sometimes I end up going backwards. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think that a lot of people just kind of naturally learn how to mess with the camera on the fly. Like you become the cameraman.
You become Lakitu.
Yeah,
Lakitu Bro.
Took the whole concept and they made it something so different that people were instantly just flabbergasted at, is this Mario? And then they played it and they're like, oh my god, it is. Super Mario 64 was just...
I was 5 when this game came out, and I remember playing this game as a kid. It's just giving me flashbacks here. I was literally mind blown as a 5-year-old trying to play this game.
Imagine being 12 and having played all the other Mario games, and you're playing this for the first time. It's like going from algebra to calculus, basically. It's like a totally new language, totally new set of rules that you got to learn and all that. And so I felt like I was relearning how to play video games, because I've never played a 3D game before this either.
Mm-hmm. It's an amazing game, and is still to this day. If you plop it back in, just play it for 20 minutes, you just get addicted to running around, and I don't know what it is. The way the character feels, the weight on the lawn and climbing on the trees and all that, it just works so perfectly and flows so nicely.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's just about that. It's really well designed.
In all senses of the term.
Yeah.
It was a real 3D world. You could go anywhere. And it set the stage for
the typical
every 3D
hand
game world
and
that we've
bad
seen
guys.
since. Miyamoto, the creator of that game, just revolutionary as far as his thoughts on game design, fun, immersion.
And it was huge. It was like a shockwave. It overtook everybody.
It took me a while to
Proved
figure
that
out
Nintendo
that you
knew
get
its
thrown off
stuff,
of that bridge. You need to hide behind the penguin. It took me a long time to figure that one out.
Really?
No one could compete with that. Just the polish and the way in which they brought Mario into the 3D realm, the control, the world design, the level design. They retain these classic kind of 2D feeling platformer levels.
Maybe you played 64 DS.
And like they've done it in a way that nobody else could
Maybe.
even conceive of it.
It's a very fresh. It's a very fresh thing. I think it's pretty good.
This groundbreaking platformer in 3D. Developers still point to it as one of the best games of all time.
Oh yeah.
Super Mario 64 is a blockbuster, selling over 9 million copies and ensuring a healthy life for the Nintendo 64. Over the next 5 years, Mario appears in numerous games on the system,
Mario
helping
Golf.
to establish new franchises and genres for Nintendo, like Mario Party.
Yeah, this game was a friendship tester.
Hey, I'm pissed off they didn't. No love to Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, I think that was in
You gotta
the.
show Paper Mario. You gotta show Super Mario RPG. How dare you?
Yeah, but they
You
were not
know
even
it's a
wasting
Square
time
game.
talking about Paper Mario too. They're just like, here's a sizzle reel of all the other Mario games.
Yeah. I still have a scar on my
Smash
hand
Brothers.
from this game.
In November of 2001, Nintendo releases its next console, the GameCube. For the first time, there is no Mario game at launch.
That's true.
Yeah, it was,
But fans would
Luigi's
not
Mansion.
have to wait long.
Yep.
On August 26th,
I
2002,
waited.
the Red Cap returns.
What's
And
funny is I started working the year before, and I saved up money. I was just saving money like crazy, and so the next year I was like, you know what? I haven't played any games and all that. I did not pay attention to GameCube nearly as much, but I did learn about it, and I was like, you know what? This Mario Sunshine, maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I'll buy. So Best Buy by me had the Mario Sunshine pack with the GameCube, and it was actually more expensive than just buying the GameCube by itself. So yeah, I got that and Luigi together. So yeah, that's this was the first system I actually bought with my own hard-earned money. So that there's always that's so I make fun of AC for this game, but this game still has a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
It's a good game.
Mario Sunshine is my favorite Mario game for like an actual Mario game. Not like a spin-off, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Punk Waddle says, I still regret not owning a GameCube. Now they are way more expensive. I don't know. Are they way more expensive?
I don't know. I
mean, I
the
know
games
we
are.
also like
Most of the games are. but yeah.
$50 like GameCube, like a Walmart thing going on for like sale, but I don't know. I usually find them for like $1.20 in the wild, you know? So is that like really expensive, comparably speaking? Because I think back in the day they sold for what? I can't remember what the original MSRP for a GameCube was back in the day, but I don't think that they were that much more.
I think it was $200. I think back then.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want like a special limited edition GameCube, but those were like few and far between in the USA. And on top of that, too, Japan was the one that kind of got more of the cooler ones. Like they had a Tales of, was it Symphonia? I think it was Tales of Symphonia GameCube, and they also had that like really rare red GameCube as well.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to look that one up. I don't think I've ever seen the red GameCube.
Yeah, it was a Char or Zar or whatever, the Gundam villain. I forget his name, but it was yeah, like that's an actual like red GameCube limited edition out there.
Interesting.
The Xeon GameCube. There you go. That's the one I have my eye on for when we go to Japan. Okay, maybe it was just a few years ago at some of the cons. They were in a big resurgence. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. The thing about like going to video game cons is sometimes you're going to find vendors that overcharge, but you can haggle.
I got overcharged for Shadow the Hedgehog.
You know what? You know what place really like as Joe Pesci says in Lethal Weapon 2, they fuck you at the drive-thru. That's kind of like what they do over here at like some cons. They just fuck you at the cons.
I forgot about that.
They fuck you at the drive-thru. That's what they do.
Been a while since I see that.
Yeah, like I said, me with a movie reference. No, but like, yeah, usually, maybe you're right, Punk, because there's a really huge video game convention by me called Midwest Gaming Classic up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I usually find deals. I think I got a really good deal for our friend AC's Fire Emblem game that he was looking for. Always remember, if you go to a convention, bring cash, because cash is king, and you can get a lot better deals by doing that.
I hope you're all looking forward to Mario's latest adventure.
Yeah, Wavebird. Now, those are crazy expensive. Wavebird?
Yeah. I remember those.
You know, by the time Super Mario Sunshine came out, you've seen from developers games that are doing this type of thing. And they're doing them well. So Nintendo couldn't really shock everybody again. They had to just come with a solid title. And I think Super Mario Sunshine is a solid title.
Like I said, I still think it's like the best. There's something about Mario games where it's just like the movements of Mario games are just very wonderful and crazy. Even on the N64, I know like the camera work can be like iffy, but it's just one thing I'll say about these Mario games, they really do master like free movement and everything else.
Oh yeah. Movement, I mean, like you said, it's very expressive. You're very expressive in your movements.
I've spent more money on crazier things, AC. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, the challenge levels are also
Oh yeah.
Although it is unable to top the sales of its predecessors, Super Mario Sunshine is critically acclaimed, winning numerous awards.
I don't remember this.
But after over 2 decades of gaming, how will Mario survive?
They're fine.
I will tell you how Mario will survive very well.
Oh, good. At least the Mario RPG got some love. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's so many characters out there, so many mascots and cooler characters vying for people's attention that Mario is often forgotten. But as far as gameplay goes, Mario is still king.
I think Nintendo's insistence that they keep Mario pure and kind of a mascot that appeals to all ages, you know, has kind of helped the company over the years because Mario's become this family-branded thing, and you know, parents can go into a shop and pick up a Mario game, and they know that they're going to have something healthy for their kids. It's not going to be packed full of blood and guts or whatever.
Mario is really.
That was Yoshi's Island. And you know what's funny is,
as a character, this guy.
You know what's funny is Yoshi was originally designed to look a lot more reptilian. So they made him look like the way he looked in the Super Mario movie with Bob Hoskins. Like he was just literally like a small little raptor. He was like a small little raptor in that one. And that's how they originally. That's how I forget the guy's name. What was his name? Did I write his name down? Shigefumi Hino originally designed him to look like a reptile, and it was Takashi Tezuka that said, "No, make him a little bit cuter,
softer,
cuter. You know, get that round muzzle. You know." And all that.
Well, Mario is a franchise for women, so that's what we've learned today.
Apparently.
Yep.
Ball, you know, I remember that one. Or the little triangle asteroid ship. As a character, Mario is really, you know, has so much longevity because he's instantly memorable, and we've seen him for such a long time.
With 6 of the 10 all-time best-selling games and over 20 years of innovations, Mario's effect on the world of gaming is undeniable.
Just like Citizen Kane, it's really the archetype for a really good movie, and directors will always refer back to
Citizen
it.
Kane.
Mario is the
Hell
one
of
3D
a
game that
movie
people
is
will
really like
refer back to.
Let's add that in there. Mario is the Citizen Kane of video games.
Mario, when Mario's dying in his bed, he says, "What would he say?" He would say, "Mushroom." No, not mushroom. I can't think. I'm trying to remember if there's a sled. I'm trying to remember if there's a sled in Mario.
I'm just telling you right now, like listening to all these old, G4 interviews and just listening to all these comparisons, we have gotten. There's another one right there.
Yeah,
Mario. It's the Citizen Kane of video games.
I mean, at that time,
all around the
Citizen
industry,
Kane
yeah.
was considered the #1 film according to like some magazine, some cinema magazine or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think that might have changed by now, but that was 20 years ago.
Whether people are playing Nintendo games now or have played them in the past, and that be it, consumers or the people making the games, I think you're going to find Nintendo influence everywhere.
Let's go.
I still have not beaten that 100%
Even his creator
yet.
still sees him as something special.
When people ask me to draw a picture for them, somehow, for some reason, I always end up drawing Mario.
I wonder if he still does that.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it was the Nintendo IP they made into a movie. Nice, I guess you could say. Let's be honest.
That's all he does in the office is he just sketches. He just draws stuff all day. He'll wait until if he's not like evaluating like design or he's evaluating programming or testing game or something like that, he'll be sketching shit.
Yeah.
He'll be the last one at the office, at least according to this book right here. Tezuka would stay late, Miyamoto would stay even later. In Japan. So I don't know. Yeah, it's Mario's Mario's always been a staple for me. I haven't played nearly as much Mario lately. They haven't come out with a new 3D game yet. I still haven't played like I said, I still have to play I still have to play a lot of the Mario Luigi games. I still have to play Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. And of course Mario. I have not completed Mario Wonder, Super Mario Wonder. So I'm kind of behind when it comes to Mario. Shame for me to admit, but I'm kind of behind in that regard. So I'm behind altogether in video gaming. Typically, you guys make fun of me for it, and rightfully so.
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting. Like we look back there, how much the gaming industry has kind of like blown past, I guess, Mario in some ways too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, so many things have come out. Like so many 3D, Banjo-Kazooie come out only a couple of years after Mario 64. A lot of Mario clones came out. Adventure Island was a Mario clone on the NES. I mean, heck, I think the one series that I'm really locked into right now that inspired it wasn't a Mario game, but a Luigi game, Luigi's Mansion, was inspired by Resident Evil. Same setting, the mansion, except this time it was ghosts instead of zombies and blood and feral dogs and Umbrella. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. I was curious because in that documentary it said Mario had 6 of the 10 best-selling video games of all time. So I was curious about that, and I had to go double check to see how many Mario games still actually remain on that list. And currently there's 1 and 2. There's only 2 of those that are in the top 10 best-selling video games of all time now.
Which ones?
So number 5, I'll let you take a guess. What do you think it is? It's more recent. I'll give you a hint.
Mario Kart 8.
8. Yes. I was going to say, sorry. Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are currently your best-selling Mario game right now with about 80 million units sold.
Okay.
And then your next Mario game, take a guess what it is.
Is it another Mario Kart?
No.
I think when it comes to, I think Super Mario Brothers is the top in the Super Mario series, if I remember correctly.
Correct. You would be correct. The Super Mario Bros. Kind of gets back into the list at number 10, tied with Human Falls Flat.
Oh,
58 million copies sold. So it's adding up all the copies of when it was re-released and everything else there too. Just to,
I wonder if it includes like digital virtual console sales as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's multi-platform, so it's got a whole bunch of them out there too. But yeah, that's funny. So we got Tetris, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and Wii Sports.
Is it Tetris on the Game Boy, or does it matter what platform?
I think it's just original Tetris, and it says multi-platform. So overall,
I don't know. NES Tetris and Game Boy Tetris are different.
Yeah, but they're still Tetris. You know what I mean? Unless it's like Tetris 2 or some other variation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what they do. Also, another thing too is there's caveats to them. Tetris and Wii Sports were sold as pack-ins.
Yes.
So their numbers are kind of skewed as well.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
Make mention here. But then you got. It's funny though, but if you take that out, we got Grand Theft Auto 5. So if we take out Tetris and Wii Sports, then it's Minecraft, GTA, Red Dead, Mario Kart, PUBG, Terra, which is that weird like 3D Metroidvania game, I think. Elder Scrolls, Witcher 3, and then Animal Crossing's New Horizon. Actually, that would be kind of your new top.
The one on the 3DS, right?
No, that's the Switch version, the one that came out during COVID.
Oh, really?
No, that game sold like gangbusters. Like everybody in the world was playing Animal Crossing. Don't you remember?
Is that the best-selling Switch game other than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I don't know when these numbers were updated, but I think it's pretty much up there. Yes.
Wow. Because the Animal Crossing is now that's a game for women.
Yeah, that is a game that my wife Shirley did play with all her women friends. Yeah, I how do you say the name then? Oh wait, you can't answer me.
So yeah, okay, I was like Terraria. I don't know
Terraria,
if that's a Metroid. That's not even a Metroidvania, I don't think.
But I thought it was like a Metroid. I haven't played the game, so like the video I saw of it, I was like, "Is this a Metroidvania?" And then I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it in passing, but I just see it on everything. It's been ported to every system. It feels like.
Yeah.
So I figured it was like super popular. But yeah, that was some of the stuff for sure that I kind of thought was interesting. How many Mario games there used to be at the top, and then just how quickly a lot of them kind of got surpassed eventually. But you gotta give a shout out to the original Mario for still hanging on that list.
Yeah, true. I mean, now, like, you know, everybody has access to AAA games. So like games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption and are gonna surpass it because, you know, just more people are playing it. More people have, you know, PCs and everything. So yeah, I mean, it was going to happen eventually. Whereas, you know, Mario is strictly on, you know, on simply only Nintendo hardware. So, yeah.
You know what's you know what's funny too is I wonder how many more units that Mario would have sold if they counted all the bootleg sales at the mall kiosks that they sell.
I don't know.
Who knows how many? It could be actually more than that too. How many old grannies were walking around the mall and bought one of those for their grandkids, thinking like, "Oh, it's the newest thing."
I don't know. That's a good question.
Jason says Animal Crossing is number 2 and still 21 million under what Mario Kart 8 did. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is a juggernaut. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah, Mario Kart's always been like the top selling game on like the last few systems. I think Mario Kart Wii, I think, was the top selling Wii game.
Yeah. And Smash Brothers.
And Smash Brothers, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they have really high retention rates too. That's for sure.
Yeah, when did Mario Kart just like jump in crazy popularity like that?
You know what? I don't know. This is where AC would come in because he is the Mario Kart simp. So he would know the Mario Kart lore. I gave up after Double Dash. That just seems to be like my natural course ended. Was with Double Dash, and the Game Boy Advanced Mario Kart. I actually love that one. I think it's actually a really good game.
I played a little bit of it. I didn't like the music.
Really, I loved it. I don't know. They did a good job with that port of the Mario Kart to the Game Boy Advance. I played that game a lot.
Yeah, I did. I barely played. I owned Double Dash. Barely played it. Didn't like it. What kind of brought me back a little bit was Mario Kart DS. I played Mario Kart DS. I enjoyed that. And I mean, I played a little bit of the Wii. Didn't play much. I would buy the Mario Karts, but I would barely play them. I have Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart World or something for Switch. I only played it once. I have the digital. I don't have the physical copy. I have the digital copy, and I play like Mushroom Cup, and that was it. I just don't have the same interest in playing Mario Kart. And now I'm awful Mario Kart. Like I am like back to 8-year-old pre Super Mario Kart 8-year-old self when it comes to playing Mario Kart. Like I'm terrible at it now. That's how long it's been since I've played it.
Yeah, like I said, Double Dash was a great party game. The one thing about the GameCube, it was like a great party game console. I think
I never really did I never really played a whole bunch of party games on the GameCube. I mean, it was either N64 for me with the first Mario Party or first two Mario Parties, or Wii U with either NES Remix or Nintendo Land.
Yeah, I just feel like Smash Melee was always like one of the ultimate party games. Double Dash was one of those ultimate party games. Obviously, Mario Party, stuff like that. It just felt like it was more of a fun console to have multiplayer and friends over. Because the PlayStation, you had to buy that attachment to have 4 players, and even then, no one really was playing that many multiplayer games on the PS2. In our group, we all kind of took turns playing Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that when we played on PS2. And then Xbox was really like the go-to for online video games as well, because Xbox Live is where a lot of stuff kind of just took off as well.
So yeah, it really started with the DS. Yeah, Mario Kart DS is really where the unit soul went crazy between Double Dash and DS.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of went down because of the Wii U, but then no one was buying the Wii U. But then Mario Kart 8 with the Switch, holy shit!
Oh yeah, no, it was crazy. But yeah, no, they brushed over a lot of games too, like really quickly, like all the Mario and Luigi games. Obviously, there was all like those weird spin-off games on the NES and the Super NES for Mario, and then of course like Super Mario RPG. That was probably like the most experimental Mario game, I think, for them at the time too.
Yeah, the Square wanted to make a Mario game. They brought it to Nintendo. They had a meeting with Nintendo, and they kind of brought it up at the last minute. And so they kept bugging Miyamoto for feedback and all that. Because there were points where Mario had a sword, Mario had this, Mario had that, and Miyamoto had to kind of get them grounded again, keep them try to keep Mario consistent. And he said, well, Mario wouldn't have a sword, Mario would have a hammer, coinciding with Donkey Kong, taking all the way back to Donkey Kong. So they listened and they came up with a game, and the game, it was a game I really enjoyed. It blew my socks off as a kid. It came out right before, and what's funny is it came out right before Mario 64, right before N64. It was only like under 6 months. Like if I remember correctly, it came out in April or May of '96, and the N64 with Mario came out, I think, September or October that year. So it was. I was shocked that they were coming out with 2 Mario games the same year. So, but so yeah, it was a great time to be going from 5th to 6th grade at that time. So that was perfect. And for me, in my opinion, that was a perfect age to play to get into N64. And I've said this before, N64 and that generation, I associate with my adolescence, beginning of my adolescence. 12 to 17 and all that. And then GameCube and on was basically GameCube, and that generation was college for me, basically. So
yeah. Now, also our friend AC sent me a chart over here of other really well-selling Mario Kart games. So the Wii version of Mario Kart sold about 37 million units, and the DS version sold 25 million units. So they also are really high-selling consoles. So it's probably around that time where I guess the really high attach rate really did help it out a lot too.
Yeah, the DS sold 100. I think the DS sold 154 units, whereas the Wii only sold it did break the 100 million barrier, I think, but I don't think it got much beyond that. It got maybe up to 102 million, 103 million.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is now, but yeah, those systems sold like hotcakes. I'm trying to remember what the highest selling DS game was. Wasn't it Nintendogs? Like all the girls wanted to buy Nintendogs.
I feel like it. My wife had Nintendogs,
and they did. There was a I forget which Smash Brothers it was, where the dog is petting the screen while blocking everybody's view. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. That's my only thing. I've never played Nintendogs otherwise. But
all right. So the highest selling Nintendo DS game, according to Wikipedia, so this is what we can gather here, was actually New Super Mario Bros. With 30.80 million units sold
on the DS. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that was the reason why I got the DS, because I think I originally wasn't really. I'm gonna be honest. My friends gave me crap for this back in the day, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the 2-screen thing.
I mean, it took some time to get used to it. Obviously, it was the hardware and everything else.
Yeah, because for instance, the game Sonic Rush on the DS was basically the 2 screens were just simply a single screen. Like you go high enough, you were on the upper screen, whereas it was different for for the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, and then the next best-selling game on the Nintendo DS was Nintendogs, and they specify all versions of Nintendogs.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nintendogs was.
Do you think that series is dead? Do you think they're going to make more?
You know what? I don't know anymore. We're getting a new Onimusha. We're getting a new Okami. So I wouldn't be so shocked if Nintendogs comes back in some way, shape, or form too. To be honest with you, I can see it being just from the pure nostalgia. People meme on Nintendogs all the time, but
Yeah.
For a fact if they launched a Nintendogs game, there'd be people out there buying it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would buy it for my wife and be like, "Here you go. Here's a dog that actually listens and doesn't pee all over our house. There you go."
Or just blocks you in the Smash Brothers. But I thought that was great. That we were all laughing our asses. I was playing with my friend. I think it was Smash Brothers Brawl. Yeah, it was Smash Brothers. I think it was Smash Brothers Brawl. And we were playing that, and we see the Nintendo blocking our screen, and we were all laughing our asses off. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah. Then Mario Kart DS would be the third best. I'll just rate the top 5 because we're already on here. Number 4. Do you want to take a guess at number 4?
Of what? The
best-selling DS games.
Number 4. So we already said Mario Kart.
Yeah, so Super Mario Bros, Nintendogs, and Mario Kart. What's number 4?
Those are the top 3. So number 4, Mario 64.
No.
Really? It's not. It's definitely not Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass.
No Zelda game is in the top 10.
It's definitely not Metroid.
No Metroid games in the top 10.
I don't think it was Star Fox Command either.
Nobody liked that game, so
nobody liked that game. So. I'm trying to think what else came on the DS.
All right, I'll give you a couple of hits. Its sequel is also in the top 10. It is not a Pokemon game, and it is also not Animal Crossing.
It's not a Pokemon game. It's not an Animal Crossing game.
Yes.
Jeez, I don't know. So, there's no DK game. I don't recall there.
No DK game.
It's not like Mario. There's no Mario versus Donkey Kong or anything like that.
No, I'll give you 3 more tries, and I'll give you one more hint. You would probably know this game. Only for
WarioWare?
Huh?
Is it WarioWare?
No, I'll give you. So you got 2 left. I'll give you one hint, and then you got 2 more tries. So you will probably know this game because it's only associated with the DS.
Is it a Nintendo game? Is it a first party Nintendo game?
Yes, it is published by Nintendo.
I'm trying to think. What else did Nintendo do? There's Fire Emblem. One of the Fire Emblems.
There is no Fire Emblem game. In fact, the only let's see when a Fire Emblem game even pops up on here. Oh wow, yeah, no, it is definitely not a Fire Emblem game. We are in the 50s right now, and no Fire Emblem game has popped up. Oh my goodness, Hannah Montana shows up before a Fire Emblem game.
Really?
Yes.
I'm like
one more guess.
Brain Age.
There you go. Brain Age is the 4th best-selling Nintendo Switch game.
Okay, I was reading AC put it in, so I forgot about. I had that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so Brain Age.
I think that was an Iwata. I think that was an Iwata game. I think Iwata came up with that one because I think around that time when he started as president, they were developing the DS. I think.
Yeah, so shout out Mr. AC for proving that he is not a LARPer and actually a real Nintendo fan. Brian, you are now the LARPer.
No.
You now have been dethroned for at least this week.
Dang it.
In fairness, at that time, Hannah Montana was big.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious about this stuff too. You know what? This could be a future video where we look at like the best-selling games on every console and just like talk about them. That's a fun future video.
I'm trying to remember what the best-selling console on the Xbox was. Was it Halo?
Halo 1 or Halo 2, but yes, it was Halo.
Okay.
The games required you to control Link with okay.
Yeah, you talk about Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Yeah, that took some getting used to. I mean,
damn it, Jason! I just closed it down. Bring this fucking back up.
Number 22 is an interesting game.
Close it down. And he's like, "Hey, don't look at this. This is interesting." Number 22, English training. Have fun improving your skills.
English training.
Yeah. So I guess there was like a basic English game out there for people to learn how to do English. That sounds interesting too.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm looking for the other way around. I'm looking to learn more Japanese right now. One game had a boat, the other Zelda. Yeah, he's talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks. It was a great game. Because it was
I still have I only have 2 DS games. I still have Spirit Tracks, and I have Final Fantasy IV Remake.
I guess AC is telling us that there's a bunch of English games out there. Well, I wish they would have done the same, like a Japanese game where you can learn how to make the kanji. That would have probably sold pretty well here. Or maybe it does exist, and I'm just stupid.
I gotta find something like that to help me learn hiragana.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's apps for that though, but yeah.
I'm just very curious about this list here. It's like a lot of cool stuff here. Yeah,
a lot of shovelware. Yeah.
Shovelware is always weird for every Nintendo title, though. You know.
Yeah. I mean, remember I don't know, shovel. Is shovelware just like indie? Is that considered just like indie games, or is that
No, it's
considered
just
like
garbage.
low quality?
It's like it's like stuff that you put into like Dollar General that Meemaw picks up for Christmas.
like the Bible Adventures on the NES back in the day.
No, that's actually sanctioned church property that they bootlegged onto your thing. But they did make a really awesome Doom clone in Super Noah's Ark. That was great.
Super Noah's Ark.
You don't know about that?
I think I do. I've seen it.
It was great. It was just like you played Noah and you just put animals to sleep, and it was literally just a Doom clone.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah.
No, that's like one of the best games ever. They even like they ported it to I think modern hardware, just because people had fun times with it, like that and Chex Quest. You know,
Just low quality crap games, shovelware. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool though. No, but yeah, Brian, this was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was shorter than I thought it was. Like they I mean I think they skipped a lot of stuff, you know. I mean, like, you know, Super Mario World, like they finally were able to, you know, they were able to implement Yoshi, something that the NES hardware couldn't do.
Yeah.
And they still had to figure out like what they wanted, how they wanted to do it, and how they wanted to design it. And so, I mean, they gave Yoshi boots because there were some Western influences there. Obviously, I mean, some things that you couldn't do in the early NES, you could do in the Super Nintendo. You could ride Lakitu. You could knock Lakitu out of his cloud, and ride his cloud. And so then Lakitu will be doing this. He'll be like, "Get off of my cloud," like, you know, like the Rolling Stones song and all that. And I mean, like, you know, you have. I think they took the flying mechanic to a whole nother level in Super Mario World. I mean, everyone remembers the raccoon flight, but the flight was very, you know, short-lived, you know, because eventually, you know, you only had a few seconds to fly. Whereas Super Mario World, if you learned how to take advantage, you could fly indefinitely if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I think more so when we do these documentary episodes, what I like about them is that they're kind of just a reminder of these episodes were like built for TV, half an hour, and just to kind of have commercials in between them. So like they go quickly, you know.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
You've played all the older. Have you played all the older Mario games by now?
No, not even close.
You haven't played Mario 3 or Super Mario World at all?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Well, tangentially, that's the word I'm looking at.
Yeah,
like maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. Like I told you, I only played Super Mario 3 because I was stuck in a hospital. I just wanted to play video games.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, our buddy AC here, I think, recently played Mario 3 for the first time. He was playing the advanced. He was playing the advanced version, and he was messaging me, asking me for help. He was having a hard time with the final fortress in World 8 because you had to. There was like, it was one of those cases where you have a P block.
Mm-hmm.
And the P block will when you turn on the P block, and they followed this up in Super Mario World. The P block in the final fortress in World 8 will open a door. Well, there'll be like a secret door, and there's 2 of them. There's the wrong one that takes you to an earlier part of the castle or the fortress, and then there's the right one, which will take you right to Boom Boom, who was always the fortress master. You know, Boom Boom Doo Doo. Da, 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 that Boom Boom. Yeah, it's a hell of a name.
Yeah.
They gave him a girlfriend in the 3D world, Pom Pom.
First off, I have never called myself the biggest Nintendo fanboy here. All right, don't you try to put that on me like I ever fake being a Nintendo fan. When you know, like, my favorite franchises Nintendo make are games that I don't get any copies or love of. I barely got a new Star Fox, and new is pushing it. All right.
Yeah, I've only done one playthrough of the new Star Fox.
I have 4 F-Zero games in my entire life, and I don't count F-Zero 99. All right. I don't want to hear it.
Never play. I don't think I've ever played anything. I've not played any of the F-Zero games except for the Super Nintendo one, the first one.
Yeah. Well, actually 5. And then there's 5 because I always forget about the NES one because I didn't have an NES, Super NES, you know.
Yeah, I never owned or rented F-Zero. I think we borrowed it from like a neighbor or something. My brother played it quite a bit. I played a little bit of it. I liked some of the themes. I like da 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 da. I like that one. I think it was the second level or the third level. I forget which one.
This is a good one here. If Carl did horse race betting, like choosing his favorite Nintendo series, he would be in a lot of debt.
Oh no.
Hey, I would pay off one time because we got a new Star Fox game. So that's all you need for those 1,001 odds. So there you go. Checkmate, incel.
You gonna play Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4 anytime soon?
Am I going to play Metroid Prime anytime soon? That should be your better question.
You totally should.
I should. There's a lot.
Prime Remaster is so worth it.
Listen, I'm playing a Splatoon game. I never thought in my life I would play a Splatoon game.
Yeah, well, my friend Marty, who's also a big Nintendo nerd like me. He's never played Splatoon either. He's telling me to play that same game.
It's really fun.
Splatoon Raiders,
really addicting, especially if you have Splatoon Raiders. But if you're also like a father or you're like somebody that has like a really get up and go schedule, you know, like you should pick up the Splatoon Raiders because it's one of those games where you can easily just play a level, put it down, and then go do something. It's built to be very easy to pick up and put down. Carl, did you end up playing DK Bonanza? I did play Bonanza. We actually did a spoiler cast as Zero and AC and me.
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about that one.
Oh yeah, Carl really rocked the boat trying out Splatoon. I mean, I've never played a Splatoon game. I'm more shocked that you haven't played it yet right now, AC.
Well, maybe AC's not a real video game fan after all. Maybe like you said, all LARP.
No. You're the LARPer today. He gets the crown to be.
Hey! I just redeemed myself with all
not
this
yet
crazy Mario knowledge, you know.
Yeah, but he knew about Brain Age, so there you go.
That's true.
Mario's mainstream. It's like, yeah, everyone knows about it.
Well, some stuff.
You're like, it's like I know about the most successful Nintendo IP outside of Pokemon, guys.
Yeah. Oh well, but like with Bonanza, I enjoyed like the boss fights. Some of the boss fights were pretty good. I loved all the King K. Rool stuff and the Kremlings at the very end. I think that was what really
that was cool.
I thought that was great at the end, but I was just not a fan of I got bored with all the digging, and there would be long points where I would just not play the game at all. And usually when it comes to games like, you know, Donkey Kong Country, Returns, and heck, even 64, I was playing those games nonstop. Like the moment I had free time, I get off of school or I get off of work, I would go right away and play them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have that same. Now this is probably because I'm also old. I have the same urge to play video games all the time. But I don't know. I played Prime 4 quite a bit. I played Prime 4 like it's 100%. Well, actually, what sucks is even if you get 100% collecting in that one, you didn't get the final cutscene. You had to get 100% scans too. I know I'm kind of cutting from that to 2K, but yeah, the digging thing was one thing that just I didn't really care for. Like some of the mini games were okay with the digging, but like where you're digging like I don't know. But I don't know. I just wasn't the biggest fan of the digging stuff.
I mean, I don't know. I thought the digging was therapeutic.
Well, I mean, yeah, some people like it. Like you and AC, I know you and AC really like it. I think Nerd Takes, a few other people like it. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just different. It was just very different.
Well, the thing is, like, when you own every console and a PC and all the old retro consoles, it's like you basically do like it's like a seasonal change, you know? Where it's like you play the hotness on the newest console, and then it's like, well, now I'm going to go play on something else because you need to like figure out your time to play something. So
right,
like, you know, next month, you know, the new Fire Emblem game comes out. What do you think I'm going to be doing during that time? Obviously, I'm going to be playing Fire Emblem pretty much for a month straight. It feels like.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and then September is going to be a damn nightmare, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like
that was
first
October. I thought it was October that was going to be the.
that's not looking any better. But like just the first 3 days of September alone, you got that Orbits game that comes out.
Oh yeah, the 80s anime. Yeah,
That comes out on the 3rd of September, and releasing the same day is
I forget. Is that a shmup? I forget what kind of game that is. It's shmup,
no,
right?
it's like it's like a platforming clone.
Oh.
It looks like Split Fiction a little bit, and or like It Takes Two. It looks like somebody saw that idea and had like, what if I made it an 80s anime inspired game? And I'm like, well, it looks good. But that comes out the same day as Blood of the Dawnwalker, and then the day after is the new Onimusha game. So
I still got to play it. I have the first two on the Switch, digital.
Yeah.
Actually, I bought them because of you and me hanging out.
It says here, I'll be unable to be reached in the real world once GTA comes out. I'll be on that every free minute I have. It's going to be a popular game, man. You know, it's going to suck so much air out of the room. GTA 6 is so big. Like I said, my stepbrother that hasn't played a video game, I think, since the 360 era, and he's like, I just pre-ordered GTA 6. Are you getting it too? So
yeah, well, I'm going to be playing the other game that's going to be coming out at that time, which is going to be assumed it's going to be Ocarina of Time remake.
I don't think it's going to do as good, only because it's on everything, including the Switch 2, versus Orbitals is just on the Switch.
Yosef Games? What's Yosef Games?
Yosef Fares is the creative director behind all those games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like him. He's a really good interview. If you ever listen to him, he's really good. He was he's a refugee from Lebanon who went to Sweden, and then he became a film director, and then he got into video games, and he's made some really great video games. I mean, I love Split Fiction. I don't know why AC gets mad when I say I really like Split Fiction for some reason, or I compare it to Split Fiction. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being a clone of something that's good. It looks good too. I haven't played it yet. What am I supposed to compare it to? Air? Yeah, Orbitals. It looks good.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. It looks like Split Fiction. A game I love and was my game of the year last year. Oh, Be Still My Heart. I guess you know, that's high praise. Oh, is that when they're dropping Ocarina? I don't know when they're.
We don't know for
Ocarina.
sure, but that's the assumption because the original game came out in November and they still haven't given a release date yet as of now. So I think they're gonna have like some sort of Zelda Direct probably in the next month or two.
Well, on top of that too, they the company that is the parent company for FromSoft said they're still going to release Dustbloods this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when are they going to do? They're releasing the beta test codes. I know Dread, he got into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to hear his thoughts too. But like, when are they going to do that? The runway is that sounded like really racist Asian accent there. The runway is getting very short.
Mm-hmm.
It's already September coming up soon. And where are they going to put these games, man? We're running out of time and space. So, man, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is like the only one I think you could release there and not have to worry about it because it'll also be on just the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So much for that.
Yeah, I honestly heard the rumors earlier this year. I did not think it was going to be a thing. Like there was interesting moments just talking about it. Like, oh, they're going to do an HD version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I honestly I was not expecting this. So it'll be interesting to see.
I would say so. Yes. All right. I think with that being said, we could kind of close this out because we're no longer talking about Mario. So I think that would be a good way to kind of end it for a show that's talking about Mario, right?
Yeah.
Brian, thank you for coming on. Really like having you on. There's definitely a lot more shows I would like to do with you that I think you would be good for, and we can have fun with. We got obviously stuff dedicated to Shigeru Miyamoto, and also I kind of want to go over this IGN top 100 Nintendo games.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we could go through that.
Yeah, the top 2, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, there's 100 others, so you can kind of get into it.
I know Super Mario World was like the top Mario game.
I don't remember all this stuff, but we're not talking about that. We'll save that for a later date. Do you have anything coming up near soon?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, I'm doing a Chillporio Friday night. I'm going to have the Sword and the Pen and my friend, one of the White Cloaks, Dane. We're going to be talking about his book, which I need to finish reading. So that's going to be doing it right after this. So.
All right, awesome. Cool beans. Thank you for coming on. As for me, we will be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, and I will be joined by Jay Bongo. He did confirm, so he will be on as we talk about the latest and greatest in the gaming news cycle. Got a lot of fun stories coming out here. There's a lot of big news coming up next week as well. We got Gamescom, the Pokemon Worlds title, and everything else like that. So we're getting very busy very quickly, and we're also getting into rumor season about upcoming, state of plays and Nintendo Directs. So definitely looking forward to that. Gaming news is starting to ramp up, but it never feels like it's quiet. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
June was 2 months ago, and it still feels like, all that gaming news is still relevant today.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, this Saturday, as we mentioned, Mr. Nerd Takes, who's in the chat, will be joining me as well Friday, and he will be talking about the 2018 Insomniac Spider-Man game with me as we go over it and give us a little bit of a retrospective for that game as well.
Yeah, I still have to play my copy. I still have my PS4 copy of that one.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a damn good game. Probably one of the best superhero games of all time.
I have to play Rebirth before that though.
You gotta play games in general.
Yeah. I played Resident Evil 2 remake not too long ago.
Yeah. You're doing better. Instead of like 2 games a year, you're up to 3. It's improvement.
Yeah, I'm posting all my stuff on your thing.
I know. That's what I said. 3 games. Now I think you're at 4, right?
More than that. I think like 6.
There is a 2-month void in my life where for this year at least. So I
played a whole bunch of Resident Evils this year.
Yes, those are very easy to get through. They're very short games.
I know. It's nice.
Yeah, it helps. But with that being said, everyone, thank you for stopping by. And if you could, on the way out, could you leave a like if you like this video, and maybe consider checking out some of my other videos. So recently, we have posted not 1 but 2 PlayStation 3 guides for the PS3 store of what games you should grab before the store closes, both physically and digitally, as well as check out my other ones for recommended games for this month if you haven't checked that out already, or just older content in general. If you're new here too, we love you and we see you and we hope to see you again. Everyone have a very wonderful night. Until next time, peace out.